Good evening. So my name is Ogma Newak, grandmother of the Four Paths, and I'm a Wolf Clan mother. I was raised in Winnipeg, but my kin are from the West, and most of my family has been raised here in Winnipeg. So I wanted to welcome you onto this territory, our territory, Turtle Island. And I wanted to thank you for caring about what we're here for tonight, which is diabetes. So I wanted to open with a prayer. And I'll say this in English for you. Thank you, Creator. Creator, watch over us. Creator, we are your children. We are here to help you to take care of the land, our Mother Earth. Thank you, Creator, for reminding us that we are not greater or lesser than anyone else. And thank you, Creator, for reminding us that we're related to everything with life. And thank you, Creator, for giving us our breath of life. And thank you, Creator, for giving us insight and strength and intuition. And thank you, Creator, for giving us the bodies that we have, that we can walk amongst our other peoples. And thank you, Creator, for just everything that you provide for us, for this opportunity. And thank you, Creator, for the love that fills this room. Aye. So I'm going to speak to this thing called diabetes. So years ago, I spent most of my life in a hospital, a good part of my life in hospitals, not because of diabetes, but because of different things that brought trauma to my body, different experiences. And I feel for myself that when I had diabetes, it's probably just rolling around there silently, waiting to come back one day. So I respect it. I respect that spirit, because that's how I see it. That's how I relate to it. So now that I am insulin-free, I wasn't insulin-free. I was 4, sometimes 6 needles a day at one time. That's a lot of insulin. I was a much younger woman then. I think it was about 20 years ago. So, yeah. So I've been insulin-free for a few years, but because of the traditional way of life that I walk, I think that was a part of how I came to terms and started shifting my reality and understanding kidney disease, diabetes, heart disease that affects us when there's trauma, disease that comes into our bodies one way or another when we are out of balance with our Mother, the Earth. So, out of the teachings that I received in this journey to understand this, I had to do a lot of deep ways of thinking. For me, I did a lot of fasting. Not that I would advise that the length of fast that I did to other people, because it was between me and Creator, the length of fast that I did. But I needed to know addiction. I needed to know spirit better. And I thought I knew spirit really well, because I'm a survivor of near-death experience. I died on an operating table when I was a child. So I've experienced that a couple of times. And so I thought, but you never know. You never know until you are in that state and in that place and trying to find out how to be friends with your own body when it's not your friend anymore. So it's a journey that you have to find deep within yourself. It's a journey to understand food, where it comes from, what it does, the spirit. This took me on a journey to understand more about my Mother Earth and my connection to her, and what kind of food I was ingesting that was coming from the earth, how it was prepared. Did I pray that day? Did I talk to the spirit of that food that I was putting in my mouth? It was a good journey. I've learned lots and lots on this journey. It's been a rewarding journey because now I have the opportunity to share about what this means maybe to other people or people that you love, without guilt, without shame, with understanding and compassion and depth and perception, and knowing that there has been a huge inadequacy for Indigenous people. When we were taken from the land, our grandfathers, our grandmothers were displaced away from the food that they had talked to all their lives, raised to speak to the earth. And when things become taken from you, you get a food ticket of some sort back then, like rations. Don't tell me that does that not, affect the spirit of not only the people, but the grand people after that. What about the children and the grandchildren? Being displaced like that, creating pain like that, taking away everything sweet and good in life like that is going to create trauma, which will show its face, in my own personal opinion, in diabetes and different diseases that we look at today and have to figure out why this is here, what we can learn, how to make friends with our body, and heal not only this generation, but generations to come. This is about our children and our children's children. This is about standing on the ground, talking to the grass, listening to the water, and understanding that there's only one thing that we cannot divide in life, and that is silence. And in that silence, you will find your own personal answers to what you need to know. But diabetes is a spiritual disorder, a psychological disorder, an emotional disorder, and a physical disorder. It steps down from an imbalance in the spirit. This is my take on it. It steps down from imbalance in the spirit of not knowing the teachings that we have in our pipe, our life teachings. Everything we need to know is in that pipe that we've carried. And when we had to bury our pipes and put them underground and have our ceremonies at night, it disturbed our way of life. And when we disturbed our way of life, we have different things that have popped up as a result of that. And so we need to deal with it. We need to look at it. We need to be transparent. As I said, no shame, no guilt. There's no place for anger anymore in our world. We need to heal it with love, but with love, it's the truth, and that is the circle of our 7 sacred teachings, the ending and the beginning, and the beginning and the ending, and the middle and between. To know that we are not better or worse than anybody else or anything else on this planet, but that the carrot that you eat has life, and that it has given up its life for you, for your survival, and in that is great gratitude. So if we have thankfulness and gratitude and caring and sharing, which is our medicine wheel, really, that's going to start a healing process, because we cannot do this without sharing what we know. We must share our experiences. It's a part of our healing journey. Our heart, the voice of our spirit comes through our heartbeat. When you hear those drums, that brings healing right from the heart of the mother, right to you. Take it personally. That would be my advice. Feel it, listen to it. I was talking earlier about concrete and how we grind rock until it's pulverized into a powder, and then we make these concrete jungles that nobody really likes, but that we utilize, and it has value, I guess, for transportation and other things. But the one thing that we pulverized was the sugar beet. We didn't do it, but it was pulverized. Sugar beet. Put sugar in bologna. They put sugar in soup. My mother used to say, don't eat that stuff. It's white death. That's what she calls sugar, white death. And same with white flour, because we used to grind our own flour. We used to grind our own wheat. And she said, don't eat that stuff. It will hurt you. And when you take away the spirit by grinding it down, sound familiar somehow, hey? When we grind the spirit of something down till there's nothing much left, it doesn't have much nutritional value. And for our people, I think with the oppression that has happened and the grinding down of our societies, we have to remember that we are strong. And we weren't ground up, we just went underground to grow those seeds of knowledge, to start over, and to bring back those sacred teachings into our everyday lives so we can deal with the disease of diabetes and so many others in a good way. So if you have a family member that has diabetes, have compassion and remember that there's something missing great in their life, and it's usually something very sweet, like love, like kindness, and laughter. Give that to them. And let them heal one way or the other so they have the strength to deal with whatever they've got to deal with. But use those sacred teachings and the teachings around love and kindness to raise people up. Do we need allies? Of course we need allies. Look at our children, our children's children. Because of travel and because of everything else, there's going to be a mix in everything. But we have to understand that. We can't lose the culture in that. And so we have to keep our culture strong by remembering those teachings. Keep your spirit strong. No matter where you come from, keep your spirit strong. Know your culture. Share. Share your knowledge. It's not ours to keep. It was meant to be shared. Because we have a saying, to all our relations. And to all our relations also means to every living thing. From a rock, to a cat, to a lion, to a wolf, to you, to me, to all of us. So in that I say thank you for listening to my story, a little bit of it. I appreciate and know that life can be sweet. And when somebody does have diabetes, be really kind, be understanding, be compassionate. That will bring a different kind of healing. And that kind of healing can move mountains. It can change the world. And that's what we need to do. Because when one person is inspired, maybe they will find an answer. They'll say, wait a minute here. Remember an old person saying, it's in the saliva of the bat. And we were talking about AIDS and HIV. But that wouldn't have come to her if she hadn't been loved. We never know who we're with. We never know another person's purpose. Raise each other up. and embrace this disease that is keeping us company in this room. Hi, hi.